video has no context as usual. I have nothing to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. But I feel like I want to make a video anyway. I'm just gonna talk about nothing, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking about nothing. I guess I'm just showing you what I'm currently up to. That's basically what this video is gonna be about, just showing you what I'm up to. Wandering around aimlessly. I only have like probably 20 more videos until 10,000. So I'd like to make this video at least 5 to 10 minutes. Like pretty much all the videos I make until 10,000, I want them to be somewhat of a long video, 5 to 10 minutes or more. So got 4 more minutes of this one minimum, maybe longer if I suddenly think of something to talk about. What the hell is that? Under review. It's hard to tell if that's an actual store or if it's empty real estate that's under review, because they're trying to figure out what they want to put in it. There's a whistle. There's a big whistle on there. I'm guessing it's a sports store. Seems kind of weird. The thing that I'm going to look forward to after this pandemic is over is all of these new random businesses that are going to start popping up everywhere, because thousands of businesses went out of business during this stupid pandemic. And for the most part, only the big boys have survived so far. And a lot of these essential companies where they can offer stuff that everyone needs on a daily basis. But thousands of companies have went under from this pandemic. When the pandemic is over, thousands of companies will start up again. Whether it's the same companies that went under or entirely new companies, there's going to be a lot of new companies. So when you go around, and then over the next few months, when the vaccines roll out, you're going to start seeing a lot of new random names and logos like this, for example. I've never seen that before in my life. I don't know how long that's been around. But we're going to start seeing all these new random company names popping up on buildings sometime next year. Probably within the first quarter of next year, we're going to be seeing that everywhere. We're going to be seeing all these empty buildings and all these stores that went out of business. They're going to be filled with new businesses. And it's going to probably be all the same shit, just a different name. And the interior is probably going to look different because each business can do whatever they want with their interior. So the insides are going to look the same, but they're probably going to offer the same shit. Like sports stores that open up are probably going to offer the same shit, obviously. But their interior is going to look different because different people like to try to stand out. Like, oh yeah, let's make my store look all pink. Like all the Sprint stores are pink now because T-Mobile bought out Sprint. So there's even less competition now. Sprint doesn't exist anymore. It's just T-Mobile. So all of their stores I'm going by now are pink. Ugh, it's too girly, damn it. I don't have T-Mobile. Well, now I do because I used to have Sprint. Fuck! Now all the stores I go to are going to be girly pink. I'm probably going to switch phone carriers next year. Screw T-Mobile. I mean, their service is pretty good and they have good deals. You can get unlimited plans for pretty damn cheap, honestly, but they're too girly. Ugh. I had T-Mobile all the way back in like 2012, I think, like years ago. I had T-Mobile. I don't really have any complaints about them. They're probably one of the best that I've used so far. I've used all the carriers besides Verizon. And the only thing that's keeping me from trying out Verizon is, well, nothing really. If they had any good deals going on, like unlimited everything for $20 a month, no contract, I'd probably do that. But Verizon is overpriced, like AT&T. So I wouldn't recommend either of them because their service is whatever. Like, their service isn't bad, but it's not worth the extra money that you'd be paying. I'd rather go to a prepaid carrier like Cricket or Metro, or in this case, Sprint. But now it's T-Mobile. But I'm not really complaining because, like I said, T-Mobile, I've never had a problem with their service. I've had pretty good signal and it's been fast. No dropped boner calls. I'm just never going to be seen walking into a T-Mobile store because they really overdo it with the pink. Damn it. I just walked past a T-Mobile store across the street, and the whole entire store was pink. Just pink lights, pink interior. It was like all up in your face kind of pink. Like it was blinding me. It was so bright with the pink. Like they're just overdoing it. It looked like a sex shop or a strip club almost. There's just way too much pink. Like I get it. They're probably doing that, like making it all bright with the bright pink colors and lights all over their store to try to get everyone to notice their store. But I just think that it looks kind of desperate. Like there's three problems. There's three things wrong here. Either one, it makes you look like a sex store. Number two, it makes you look like a strip club. Or number three, it just makes you look too girly. So if I ever have to pay bills or have any questions or I want to buy a new phone, even though I never buy phones from carriers, I buy them unlocked. It's cheaper that way, and I'm not stuck with that particular carrier. I like to have freedom. But if I ever, for any reason, have to deal with my carrier, I'm never going into a store. I'm going to call them or go online. Screw going into the store. Yeah, I guess this video does have context. Here I go rambling on about random shit again. But yeah, I buy my phones unlocked. I've been buying all my phones unlocked for years. I think just about every iPhone that I have bought since the iPhone 3G that I had back in the day, pretty much every iPhone from there onward I bought just full price, unlocked, directly from Apple. Well, actually, I think I bought an iPhone 5S from Cricket. That was the last iPhone that I bought from a carrier. After that, the iPhone 6S, bought straight from Apple, iPhone 8, straight from Apple, iPhone X, XS Max, iPhone 11 Pro, and the soon-to-be-released iPhone 12 that should have been out already, but the pandemic is delaying everything as usual. Whenever I get the iPhone 12, it's going to be directly from Apple, unlocked, too. It's like, I never pay full price. Like, it sounds kind of crazy. Like, I buy all my phones unlocked, I buy them all up front. It's like, you're throwing away so much money, like spending $1,000 or more on a phone. Like, why are you throwing away that kind of money? Like, first off, I never pay the full price. Every time I buy a new phone, I always trade in any other phones or devices that I can use as a credit. So in this case, I would be trading in my 11 Pro, and it would literally cut the cost of an iPhone 12 in half. Because that's what I did when I got the iPhone 11 Pro. I had the iPhone XS Max, and I traded it in when I went to the Apple store, and I got a $500 credit. The iPhone 11 Pro was $1,000, so I only had to pay $500. When you think about it, $500 for an iPhone 11 Pro, brand new, I got it the day that it came out. So $500 for a brand new iPhone 11 Pro that just came out is pretty damn good. So that's why I'm telling you, like, I never pay full price anyway. That's why I have no problem with buying my phones unlocked, full price. I got no problem doing that. Because I'm never paying full price for it anyway. Like, I never pay more than like $500 to $600 for my phone brand new. Unless I've never had one before, like if I've never had an Android phone before, like with the Galaxy S20 for example. I didn't even pay full price for this. Galaxy S20 is $1,000, but literally a couple weeks after the S20 phones came out, they were a couple $100s off, so I paid $800 for this thing. So even then, I paid a good chunk of money because I bought this from Best Buy unlocked, but I paid $800 instead of $1,000. Like, I'm never going to pay $1,000 for a phone, fuck that. But the only reason I paid that much for this phone is because I haven't had a premium Android phone. The last premium Android phone I had was years ago. It was the Galaxy S2. And from there onward, all the Android phones I've had after that were garbage throwaway phones. I never paid more than like $100, maybe $150 for all the new Android phones I got because they were from shitty prepaid carriers and they always had all these deals like, you port your number in and get this decent phone with a gigantic screen for like $99 or whatever. So that's what I've done, because Android phones don't hold their value nearly as well as iPhones. So that's why I could never see myself spending a premium price for an Android phone, because they never get supported very long. They lose their value a lot quicker. So I figure if I ever were to buy a premium Android phone, or I were to spend more money, like more than $100 or $200 for an Android phone, there's only 2 Android phones I would generally get. Either one, a stock Android phone, and there's only one stock Android phone that I could think of, which is the Google Pixel. So I would get a Google Pixel phone, which I already got one of those. So, but I'd either get a Google Pixel or a Galaxy S20, Galaxy S phone or a Galaxy Note phone. If I were to get like a top-of-the-line expensive phone, the only one I could think of that seems appealing to get would be a Galaxy S20 or a Galaxy Note or whatever. And the new Note 20s that came out are really disappointing. Like the standard Note is $1,000 and it's made of fucking plastic. Like it doesn't even have like the latest and greatest hardware. It's only a 1080p screen. Like what the hell's their problem? And then the Note 20 Ultra is $1,400 and it has the kind of hardware that the S20 phones have that you can get for $800. Like it just makes no sense how they really fucked up with the Note 20 phones, because I feel like they made the Note 20 Ultra severely overpriced, and then they purposely dumbed down the standard Note 20 so they can get more people to buy the Note 20 Ultra, which is pretty much what the standard Note 20 should have been in the first place. But they're going to still have the nerve to charge a premium price, $1,000 for the standard Note 20. The standard Note 20, $1,000. And it's going to be made of plastic, a plastic back. Like it still has all of the typical premium features, water resistant, great cameras, gigantic screen. I think it only has 8 gigs of RAM, I don't remember. What the fuck, 8 gigs of RAM? Like all that bullshit. It has wireless charging, surprisingly, but it's like, why is it going to have a plastic back? I have never in my life heard of a $1,000 phone that has a plastic back. When I think of a phone with a plastic back, I'm thinking of like $100, $200, $300 phones. That's perfectly fine, but when you're paying $1,000 for a phone, you would think it would be made of more premium materials, which is typically aluminum and glass, or glass and stainless steel in this case with the iPhones. It just doesn't make any sense how they really like deliberately fucked up the Note 20 series. They really screwed up on this. They really did, because they're charging the typical $1,000 premium price for the standard Note 20, and they dumbed down the Note 20 really bad. Like they really dumbed it down, but they're still charging that $1,000 premium price. And then they're gonna make the Note 20 Ultra even more overpriced, and like everything that has to offer is really no different compared to what all the other $1,000 phones have already been offering, like the S20 or the S20 Plus, for example. It has all the same shit, but they're gonna charge even more for it. It makes no damn sense. But it's like, oh hey, let's charge $1,000 for the standard Note 20, but let's dumb it down. Let's just put a plastic back on it, and let's just be a total fucking cheapskate. And it's so painfully obvious that they're being a cheapskate on purpose, so they can assume that people are dumb enough to want to go and spend more money on the Note 20 Ultra, which is not worth $1,400. They're both good phones, sure, but they're not worth that kind of money. Like the standard Note 20, I would pay $700, maybe $750. That seems reasonable. The Note 20 Ultra, maybe $1,000 at most. It's just over fucking priced. So that's why I always wait for a price drop, which generally with these phones, you can tell if how well these phones are doing within the first couple months, because you'll see a price drop. The S20s that came out had a couple $100 price drops within the first month or two that they came out. That's obviously when I bought one. So either way, like now that I'm on board with premium Android phone with the S20, then if I were to get the S21, for example, whenever that comes out in the spring, probably March or something, I would trade this current S20 in that I'm using to record this video. I would trade this in for a credit, and it would significantly cut down the price of the S21. You know, let's say the S21 is still going to be $1,000, because these greedy, retarded companies have no problem with just bumping up the prices all the time. So they have no problem with charging $1,000 or more for these phones. It's so stupid But either way, like let's say I get a $400 credit to trade in for this. Fuck, that is so stupid. I paid $800 for this. Like a year later, I traded in and they're only gonna give me $400 for it. No, it's like people wonder how these companies make so much money because people like me are stupid. Like, it's not so much that I'm stupid because I know what I'm doing. Like, technology in general is a major money sink. But still, like, this is how all these companies are so filthy rich. You pay $1,000 for a phone, 10 months later, you get like $400 out of it. But that's essentially what I'd be doing, is when the S21 comes out, more than likely I'm gonna wind up getting it. And I'm gonna be trading this in, and I'd probably wind up getting probably around a $400 credit. I'd be lucky to get a $400 credit towards a new phone because the stupid pandemic has screwed everything up, and just the sales of phones have been garbage in general. Well, mostly premium overpriced phones haven't been selling nearly as well as they normally do. That's why a lot of cheaper phones have been coming out more than usual. You know, they have the new iPhone SE that has all these premium features with a really outdated design, but with the hardware that you're getting for $400 is really good. Flagship processor, great camera, even though it's just one camera, waterproof, wireless charging, all that bullshit for $400. My only serious complaint is the damn design. Like, it still has the iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone 8 kind of design. Gigantic bezels. I mean, sure, it brings back some memories of the good old days, being able to have the home button and all that crap. You know, it has a pretty, you know, it just brings me back to the good old days with the design. But still, like, we're in the age of things are supposed to look modern, which means there's, like, every phone that comes out has no bezels at all. Even budget phones nowadays have very minimal bezel. It's all screen from top to bottom. So, you know, when they're releasing these new phones now that have huge bezels, like they're fucking enormous in today's standards, it's stupid. But either way, the Galaxy S21 phones that come out, they're going to be starting at $1,000 as usual because that's just the way it is, but I'm probably going to wind up getting it. Depending on what it has to offer, I don't know. I really would hope that whenever the new Galaxy S phones come out, I would hope they would use the new fingerprint scanner that uses the whole entire bottom half of the screen as the fingerprint, because the current Galaxy S20 phones have that slow, sometimes unreliable fingerprint scanner that is in one tiny spot on the screen. So you have to put your finger in one, you got to put your finger like in the perfect spot, because the fingerprint scanner is the size of your finger and it's in one set spot. So you got to put your finger right there, otherwise it's not going to work. I was really hoping they would have put the new fingerprint scanner where the whole entire bottom half of the screen is a gigantic fingerprint scanner. So you could put your finger on any part of the bottom half of the phone and it would work. Not to mention it's a lot faster. And it's already been out for a while. I'm guessing they didn't put that in the Galaxy S20 phones because they already finalized the design, and it's like they're not going to go back and do that because they don't give a shit. So I'm hoping that the S21s will have that new generation fingerprint scanner, and then that's when I'll probably start using it, because I don't use the fingerprint scanner for that reason. It's too annoying. I'm sick and tired of having to guess where the damn thing is. I just keep pushing on it over and over, and it's like it doesn't work because I have to put it specifically in that one tiny spot. I don't like it. So hopefully they'll have that, and then, I mean, I don't know what else they could really do other than just the usual shit, like put in the latest processor, have, you know, a little bit better cameras, maybe put the LiDAR sensor on or something, even though I don't even know like what real use I could make of that, because the only reason I wanted to get the S20 Plus is because I wanted that LiDAR sensor where you could, the only thing I would use that for is portrait mode video. You know, have a bokeh effect for video, and you could do that with pretty much anything. But when I found out that you could already do that bokeh effect through software, you don't even need that stupid sensor to do it. You could even do it with a front-facing camera, even though it's kind of crappy. Like, it's decent, I guess. That's why I just settled for the standard S20, because these phones are getting too damn big. The smallest Galaxy S20 is still 6.2-inch screen. That's the smallest that you can get. That is enormous. It's like the smallest you can get nowadays. Regardless of what phone you get, you're always going to get a phablet-sized phone. Like even the smallest option, you can get the smallest phone out of the series that they have to offer, and you're still going to get a phablet-sized phone. And if you want to get the biggest version that they have, you're literally buying a damn tablet. They're just like, these phones are getting so enormous, they're disguising these phones as a tablet. Like, they're selling them as a phone, but they're marketing it as a tablet. It's stupid. So that's why I got the smallest S20, because the standard S20 is the smallest one that they had to offer, and it still has a gigantic screen. But since there's no bezels, I mean, the only good part about it is there's no bezels. It's all screen. So it's still small enough to be able to use one-handed. I can use it one-handed pretty easily because the size of the phone is really small. You can have a giant screen in a really small phone that you can still use one-handed. That's the only good part about it. So that's why I didn't want to get the Plus. I was so relieved when the standard S20, you didn't have to have that stupid LiDAR sensor. You could have that bokeh effect with video with the standard S20 just through software. I was relieved because I didn't want to get the S20 Plus because these phones are just getting too damn big. I think the standard S20 is the perfect size. It's not too big, not too small. I don't want a phone with a screen size of any bigger than 6 inches. This is 6.2 inches, so it's right around, it's right at my limit. If anything, it's just slightly above how big of a screen I would want. And now with the iPhone 12s coming out, the standard iPhone 12 Pro, which is what I'm going to wind up getting, because I don't want the standard iPhone 12s, I want the Pro models because they have more to offer for just a couple $100 more. And especially knowing that I'm only going to be having to pay half price for a new one anyway, why would I want to get the standard iPhone 12 when I can get the iPhone 12 Pro and trade in my current iPhone, and I'm only going to be paying half of the cost of the phone? But the screen sizes are going to be supposedly getting even bigger with these new iPhones. The standard iPhone 12 Pro is going to be starting at 6.2 inches or 6.1, I think. Because there's going to be four new iPhones coming out probably next month. There's going to be 2 standard iPhone 12s and 2 iPhone 12 Pros. 4 iPhones. That is ridiculous. They've never released this many iPhones at once. They usually release 2, maybe 3 iPhones at most. They usually only release 2 iPhones. They release a standard iPhone and a Pro. They release a standard iPhone, and then they release like a Plus or a Max version. But back when, what was I saying? Yeah, they're going to be releasing 4 new iPhones. 4. It's just ridiculous. You're releasing way too many phones, but supposedly all these iPhones are all going to have OLED screens. Finally, they're going to stop putting LCD screens on the expensive iPhones. Like, who the hell charges $600 to $700 or more for premium phones nowadays that use LCD screens? That is so stupid. Can't believe, it's about damn time that they're going to get rid of the damn LCD screens on these iPhones. Like, why are they still making iPhones with an LCD screen? You can get, OLED screens don't even cost that much anymore. You can get $300 phones with an OLED screen. And here we are, they're still selling iPhones for $600 to $700 with an LCD screen. Like, give me a break. So, hopefully this is true, that all of the new iPhones that are coming out now are going to be OLED from here onward. Finally. I mean, I really don't care, because I always get the Pro iPhones, so I've always had an OLED screen on these new iPhones anyway. But basically, they're going to have probably the smallest iPhone yet. The new screen sizes is going to be standard iPhone 12. Supposedly, it's going to be a 5.4-inch screen. And then the iPhone 12 Max or iPhone 12 Plus or whatever they're going to call it is going to have, I think, a 5.8-inch screen or a 6.1-inch screen. I don't remember. It's probably going to be a 5.8-inch or a 6-inch screen. I don't know. Then the standard iPhone 12 Pro is going to have a 6.1 inch screen, so it's going to be a little bit bigger than the current iPhone 11 Pro, which is a 5.8 inch screen. The screen sizes are getting bigger again. So that's why they're releasing a smaller iPhone that's going to have a 5.4 inch screen. Because they know that phones are getting too big, so they're going to offer a smaller screen size. But then the biggest iPhone is going to get even bigger. It's supposedly going to get a 6.7 inch screen, I think. Currently, the biggest iPhone you can get is a 6.5 inch screen. And the new iPhone 12 Pro Max is going to get a 6.7 inch screen. That's not really a whole lot bigger, but it is a little bit bigger, giggity. Yeah, I'm going to be getting the iPhone 12 Pro, just the standard 12 Pro. So I'm going to be getting a 6.1 inch screen in that regard, and it's going to be bigger than the 5.8 inch screen that I have in my current iPhone 11 Pro. But the difference isn't really going to be much different. I think it's only going to get bigger because the iPhone 12s are probably going to be a little bit taller, I think. I don't know if they're going to be wider or taller, but whatever. We're going to be getting bigger screens yet again. And I'm going to be getting it for half price when I trade in my current phones for it. So I can't wait for the new iPhone 12s. I'm probably going to be making a few videos of the iPhone 12. I'm going to be making videos of not only the phone itself, I'm going to be doing video tests. I'll probably do like 1080p at 60 frames. I'm not going to do every single video setting that's available because I'm getting too close to 10,000 videos, so I don't want to just spam the rest of the way there. I want to make like actual vlogs and videos since there's only like 20 videos left, and that's what I'm doing with this video that's already 30, like close to 30 fucking minutes already because I'm blabbering too much as usual. But like I said, I want to try to make longer videos. That's why I'm trying to make myself blabber on about bullshit, because I want to make long videos. Because after 10,000, I can't stop saying this because I know nobody's gonna believe me. So I'm just gonna keep saying this. Being a retard is officially dead after 10,000. I already have other shit planned that's even more pointless than being a retard. But I am planning on making other series of videos, just starting over and making just a bunch of new kinds of videos in general. And it's gonna be so damn pointless. Like, being a retard videos have always been pointless. Most of the videos have just been me talking like a dumbass, making dumb noises, and spazzing out. But these new series of videos that I have planned, I mean, I've already started a couple of them. I'm not going to tell you what these videos are, but some of you that watch the Being a Retard videos already know about these other series of videos that I'm doing. And I'm not planning on doing these other series long term because they're more pointless than Being a Retard. It's literally just, I don't even want to tell you what it is. It's so fucking pointless. And I'm not planning on doing it for more than like maybe a few months. I'm literally only doing those videos right now because I'm dying of boredom from this stupid pandemic. I'm just living off of fucking pandemic unemployment insurance because I can't work until this pandemic fucks off. So I'm going insane in the brain from boredom. Just sitting around living the Greg life, just doing nothing. It's driving me crazy. So I'm trying to pass the time making the most pointless videos in history of pointless videos. But basically I have just a bunch of different series of videos. I'm just going to make, I'm going to start this new series of videos. I'm just going to make a bunch of videos doing that. And then whenever I hit a certain number of videos, I'm just going to abandon that channel. And then I'm going to make another channel and start doing videos of pointless shit on that. And then when I get bored and I've done enough of those videos, then I'm just going to abandon that channel. And I'm probably going to take a break from making videos. And then if I can think of more kinds of videos to do of something else, then I'll probably start up a new channel and start doing that. But right now, my main goal is just, for the most part, just get to 10,000. I don't even know when 10,000 is going to be up. Like, don't be disappointed, folks, if Being a Retard 10,000 isn't going to be up for a long time. Because keep in mind that the 10,000th Being a Retard video it's going to show for 12 years of being a retard. It is going to be, it's got to be something really sexy. 12 years of being a retard and 10,000 is going to be the end of it all. It's going to be basically like this is what's going to be showing. I'm going to be showing you, like, Being a Retard 10,000 is going to be showing, like, 12 years of being a retard. The ultimate video. Basically, parting ways with the series. No more videos of being a retard. And it just feels kind of overwhelming. Like, sure, who cares? Like, I'm not going to get more than, like, 20 fucking views on it. But the whole point is, like, it's not the pressure of, like, having a huge viewer base, like having all these thousands of people watching it, and I don't want to let them down. It's not about that. It's about kind of like I have high standards. You know, it's like I don't want to be just dedicated to this retarded series of videos for 12 years just to put up the 10,000th video, the final video that's going to be the end of the series for good, and it's just going to be another 10-second video of me spazzing out. I want to do something that's really worth doing. I want to say goodbye to the series properly. I want to do something that's really going to blow my mind and blow the 5 people's minds watching it. That's what I want to do, and I just don't know what to do. That's the thing. So that's why when I get to Being a Retard 9,999, it's gonna wind up being the same video that I always do when I'm about to hit the next 1,000 videos. It's gonna be me talking about just everything. And it's gonna be talking a lot about the Being a Retard videos. And answering, like, random questions that people keep fucking asking me. I'm gonna be just compiling all these questions and just talking about everything regarding myself, Being a Retard videos, what's going to happen after this, what is 10,000 going to be about, all that kind of crap. But I'm just telling you now, folks, like, I've been trying to think of, what am I going to do for 10,000? I've been thinking about this since I reached 9,000, and I still don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Knowing that this pandemic isn't going to start calming down for several more months. Even after the vaccines start rolling out, the pandemic still isn't going to start calming down for at least a couple months after that. And the pandemic isn't going to go to a total stop. And we're not going to get to the point of where we were, where we don't have to wear masks anymore. We don't have to avoid people and be antisocial and paranoid. We're not going to be able to go back to a completely normal life until probably pretty much almost the end of next year. So we're still going to have to deal with this retarded pandemic for a while longer. Several more months at least. You know, that's why I keep saying, you know, we're getting close to the beginning of the end. What I mean by the beginning of the end is that when the vaccines start rolling out, assuming that they work, and they don't turn us into zombies, but when the vaccines start rolling out, we're not going to have access to them right away. It's going to be a gradual rollout process. And even though whenever the FDA gives the green light on when we can start distributing these vaccines, and we're going to already immediately have access to a good 50 million of the vaccines because they're already making the vaccine, they want to be ready. So when we find out if it's going to work, and the FDA gives us the green light on when we can start rolling them out and people can start taking them, they want to have millions of them to start giving to people. So supposedly, when the vaccines start rolling out, we're already going to have like a good 50 million vaccines, folks. And they're going to start giving them to high-risk people like medical workers and people in the fire department, medical workers, doctors, police. Who else? Old people that are high risk or whatever. Those are going to be the people that get it first. And then it's going to slowly start rolling out to other people. Supposedly, it's going to be more widely available sometime during spring, like March, April, like that general time. They'll have made enough of the vaccine to where you can go to the doctor or go to your pharmacy or whatever and get your COVID shot. Ugh. It's still going to be a while. So knowing that this vaccine, even when it starts rolling out, it's not going to start becoming, it's not even going to start becoming widely available until like probably April or maybe even later. And then after that, it's going to take several more months until a good chunk of the world starts getting vaccinated and build up immunity to this virus. So that's why I'm saying that this is the beginning of the end, folks. That's what I'm talking about. It's going to be the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end will start when the vaccines are approved and they can start rolling out and become available to use. When these vaccines start becoming available to use, that will be the beginning of the end, folks. Because then people can slowly start taking the vaccines. They can start building up some immunity to it without, you know, getting sick and dying from it. You can take the damn vaccine and build up the immunity the safe way. Because there's two major ways to build up immunity. Look at this piece of shit Honda. Let's see if he does a burnout. Oh, come on! Stupid lawnmower cars. People that have those kind of cars that sound like a fart when you take off. Those kind of cars always sound like they're farting. Anyway, back on topic. I want to get as much blabbering out of the way as possible, so that's why I'm telling you folks, the last videos that I'm going to be making until 10,000, only got like a couple dozen more to go, folks. So these videos I'm going to be making are going to be really long, at least 5 to 10 minutes minimum, but if I can make them longer, I want to make them as long as I can. I want to make these videos worth making, folks. I don't want to just make it another stupid like 30-second video of me spazzing out. I want to make these videos really long, and that's why I'm acting stupid and I'm like stuttering or slurring my words, because like I've been talking for almost 40 straight minutes and I'm trying to think of what to talk about to continue the video, because I don't want to end the video and this is not scripted. Being a retard is garbage. There's no quality control with being a retard videos. So it's all just basically you start recording the video and then you just say what comes to mind. So that being said, I don't know what the hell to talk about most of the time. So I space off a lot and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck half the time. I don't know what to say. So I just start rambling. But when you get me onto a topic, like in this case, the vaccines, I can just ramble on for hours. I'm not even kidding, but I don't feel like making a 2-hour video. It just seems kind of ridiculous. Even though I have plenty of space on this phone. Like the base storage on these phones now is 128 gigabytes. That is insane. But it's to be expected because we can record 8K video and 4K video at 120 frames per second. Like the cameras are just ridiculous. Like what you can do with these cameras, like just super high resolution, super high frame rate. I think you can actually record 4K at 240 frames per second now. It's just ridiculous. So obviously we need more storage. 128 gigabytes being the base storage now, that's actually pretty good. And I'm happy that that is the base storage, because they're packing these crazy cameras in here that is gonna burn up your storage really quick. Getting close to 40 minutes, folks. Yeah, and the thing that's really cool is that storage is becoming dirt cheap. I just looked online earlier today and I saw a 256 gigabyte micro SD card for $30. $30. So even if I needed more storage, like for example, if I'm rambling too much and you know, I get to the point of recording an 8K video and I'm rambling on for like a straight hour, recording at 8K at 60 frames per second, because it's going to get to that point where they're going to have amazing video stabilization, 60 frames per second, 8K resolution. It's going to happen within the next year or two, because we can already record 8K video. It's stuck at 24 FPS right now, but probably when the iPhone 12 comes out, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be able to record 8K video. I mean, they're always heavily boasting about improving the camera every year, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't add 8K, be able to record 8K on the new iPhones. Why not? Especially with that new A14 processor with this new sexy 5 nanometer architecture. Like, they still to this day The iPhone has the fastest processor in any phone. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it has more than enough processing power to record standard 8K video at 30 FPS. Like, why did they have to lock it at 24 FPS? That's nice and all, but I feel like if the iPhone 12s that come out, if they end up recording 8K video, I feel like the iPhones would be able to record at 30 FPS. Because that's what they did when 4K came out. They started out at 30 FPS. It seems kind of random, but I feel like they wanted to start it at 8K video. They wanted to start it at 24 FPS just because it's the first time recording at that crazy high resolution on a phone. Like, that's the kind of resolution that even some expensive professional cameras can't even achieve. Like, most of those really expensive professional quality cameras can only record at 4 and 5K resolution. So knowing that they're pushing 8K resolution on a phone, like, it's ridiculous. Nobody is going to need to record 8K. Like, nobody even has an 8K TV. Nobody definitely has an 8K computer monitor. Nobody has an 8K resolution screen on their phone either. There's no point to it. Like, 8K TVs are slowly starting to roll out, but it seems kind of pointless. You know, unless you have a really expensive 8K TV, it's pointless. If you have a 4K monitor, which 4K TVs and monitors are becoming more modern now, you know, I'm seeing 4K TVs everywhere. Like Greg, for example, all of his TVs in his room, I think he has like 2 or 3 TVs in his room, and at least 2 of them are 4K TVs. You can get 4K TVs for pretty cheap. Because you can get a 1080p resolution TV for like a couple $100, and you can get a 4K TV for like $300 to $500, I think. But then there's these ridiculous 8K TVs that are like probably a couple $1,000. You know, every time new technology comes out, it's always overpriced. So give it a couple of years, you'll be able to get an 8K TV for the same price as a 4K TV. Probably find a good one for like $800. It's ridiculous. Folks. Yeah, back onto the topic of when this stupid pandemic is gonna stop. I'm looking forward to the beginning of the end, because even though when the vaccines roll out, it's still gonna be a while until the pandemic like fully stops. It's gonna be a while even after the vaccines are out until the pandemic fully stops. But the reason why the beginning of the end that I'm calling it is gonna be exciting when it starts, because we can start looking forward to things calming down. We can finally start lowering our guard, because when the vaccines start rolling out, it's gonna be exciting, folks. Assuming that the vaccines work, it's gonna be really exciting and relieving to slowly start seeing the daily infection numbers go down. Like, every week, the infection numbers are gonna start going down. Especially in America, we have already reserved a huge amount of these vaccines. We're making like 3 different vaccines right now. We're gonna have like 50 million doses whenever it's approved, hopefully in the next couple months. So, you know, I am kind of skeptical about these vaccines because, you know, they've basically continued research from previous vaccines from other coronaviruses, and we've pumped tons and tons and tons and tons of money into this, and we've all been butting heads trying to come out with vaccines. We have the whole entire world trying to come out with a good vaccine for this shit. So that's why they've been able to get this vaccine out so quickly, you know, because normally it would take like 3 or 4 years to get this kind of vaccine going. But we're gonna see a vaccine in like a year. It's crazy. So, and it's because of these reasons. The money and everyone working together, like, everyone is just trying to come out with a vaccine for this shit. But people are still skeptical because either way, it just seems like it was rushed. That being said, like, there's a lot of criticism, like, how effective is it? Like, are these vaccines gonna work properly? Are they gonna give a decent amount of immunity to this stupid virus? Are there gonna be any annoying side effects? Is there going to be any bullshit that they're sneaking into these vaccines? Anything that we should know about? Like, that's why even myself, along with a lot of other people, I am kind of skeptical about these vaccines, and I'm hoping that they're going to work, and I'm hoping there's not going to be problems with them. But I do have to agree with a lot of people that these vaccines were definitely rushed to an extent. But either way, whenever these vaccines start rolling out, and hopefully there won't be anything wrong with it, it's just going to be really nice to see, just slowly start seeing the infection numbers go down. Every week, when you see new infection numbers, they're going to slowly start going down. Like, for example, we're still getting like around 40,000 infections in America every day, which honestly isn't nearly as bad as some other places in the world. We're still getting like 250,000 infections everywhere else in the world. India alone is getting nearly 100,000 infections every day. They are really blowing up. Like, America used to be the hot spot, and now it's like, it just seems like the virus is just migrating around. Like, America used to be the hot spot when it started out, and now the virus just seems like it's slowly migrating over to other parts of the world. And now apparently India is the current hot spot for the stupid virus. India is really blowing up, folks. Way too many infections every day in India. It's just, they're out of control right now. But America seems like, you know, we could do better, but it's not out of control in America right now. But at 40,000 infections a day, just the way I think of it, when the vaccines start rolling out and more people eventually are able to get these vaccines, then basically it would be 1 week, 40,000 infections, and then the following week it would be maybe 39,500. The following week, maybe 39,000. And then the week, you know, each week that goes by, there's just the number of infections very slowly start going down and down, because more and more people get this vaccine that, I keep saying this over and over, but hopefully works properly. So that's why I'm saying this in a situation as we assume the vaccine works, there's no problems with it, then basically every week that goes by and we keep seeing the new daily infections go down and down and down, and then over the course of like the next few months, we'd basically be going from 40,000 infections a day in America down to like probably 25,000, and then eventually 20,000, because the more people that become immune to this virus, the less people are going to get sick, because this vaccine is supposed to not only protect you from it, but if you're exposed to the virus after you take the vaccine, it's supposed to inhibit the vaccine from replicating and being transmissible to other people. So not only is it supposed to protect you from getting sick, but if you're exposed to the virus, and even if you still get sick, it's more than likely not going to be nearly as bad, and it's not going to last as long, because the vaccine isn't going to guarantee that you're not going to get sick, but you're going to become immune to it, and your chances of getting sick are going to be drastically lessened. And even if you do get sick still, it's not going to last nearly as long, and it's more than likely going to keep you out of the hospital. That's the whole point of this vaccine. It's supposed to protect you from this stupid virus. So even if you still get sick, it's more than likely not going to be nearly as bad. It's definitely not going to become life-threatening, because your body is already going to be immune to it. So it's going to be it's immediately going to know that, hey, I've already fought this retarded virus before. Get the hell out of my body. It's going to immediately start fighting it off, because it's already going to know what the hell. It's already going to be invaded with this retarded virus before, so it's going to be able to fight it off a lot easier, because it's like, hey, I've seen you before. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bitch. That's pretty much how it's going to be. So, not only is it going to protect you, but it's also going to protect other people. So even if you do still get sick, this vaccine supposedly, hopefully, is going to make it so you can't transmit the virus to other people. So that's another thing that's going to drastically drive the infection rates down, is that all of these millions of people that hopefully get the vaccine, if they're exposed to the virus, they're not going to be contagious. So the virus will have a much higher chance of spreading. So that's why I'm saying, as this vaccine rolls out and as people take it, the infection rates are going to go from 40,000 to eventually 39,000, 38,000, 35,000, 25,000, 20,000. It's going to very slowly, the numbers are going to keep going down. Alright, folks. But yeah. That is what I'm looking forward to, folks. The beginning of the end. That is basically what I'm trying to explain to you, what the beginning of the end is. You know, that's why, like I said, like when this vaccine starts rolling out, it's not, the pandemic isn't going to instantly be over. It's going to be the beginning of the end. It's going to be when things very slowly start to calm down, and then we can very slowly start returning to a normal life where you don't have to be paranoid anymore. That's what I'm trying to tell you. As far as like, am I going to get the vaccine when it comes out? I don't know. I've been really skeptical about vaccines. Like, I've only gotten one vaccine in like the past 10 years. I've only gotten one vaccine, and that was my tetanus shot. Because why not? And then as far as like getting the flu shot, I mean, I can kind of take it or leave it with the flu shot. I don't think that there's anything wrong with, the flu shot, because it's been around for such a long time, and it's one of those widely available, like the flu shot is everywhere. Everyone gets their flu shot every year. If there was anything sketchy about it, I'm sure that would have gotten out. It would have leaked out. We would have found out, like, hey, there's some bullshit in this flu shot. So I think the flu shot is fine, even though it only gives you like 40 to maybe 60% immunity against the flu. So getting the flu shot isn't necessarily going to guarantee that you're not going to get the flu, but if you do get the flu, it's kind of like any other vaccine. Basically, like if you do get the flu, it's probably not going to last as long, and you're not going to get nearly as sick, and it's also going to probably, you know, make it so you're not as contagious, so you'll probably have a much less chance of getting everyone sick around you. That's the whole point of a vaccine. How long have I been sitting here? Whatever. Yeah, election is coming up soon. Got another month to go until the stupid election. And then, shortly after that, we're going to find out if these vaccines are going to be, you know, if they're going to work properly. And then after that, we're going to find out if these vaccines are going to get approved or not. We're probably going to find out if these vaccines are approved or not, probably by December. I'm assuming that at least one vaccine is going to wind up being approved by December. Assuming that any of them work, then yeah, they're going to be reviewed probably in November, and then assuming that everything's fine, then they'll be approved in December, and then they can immediately start distributing the vaccines, and then, you know, I'm thinking that's how it's going to go, folks. It's probably sometime in December. That's more than likely when the beginning of the end is going to start. Either way, I'm getting bored sitting here, so stay tuned for more videos. You know, next video that I'm going to make, all the new videos I'm going to make from here onwards, are probably going to be really long, and it's going to consist of a lot of me blabbering on about bullshit. So stay tuned for more videos. See you, folks! I can't end the video until I spaz out, damn it.